and welcome to my channel. My name's Lynn and this is Life with Lynn, obviously. Today I want to talk about my bariatric journey. I thought it would be a good first video because that's mostly what I'm going to be talking about on this channel. Although, to be fair, I'm not really considering this like a weight loss channel because there will be other things on here. It's more of a lifestyle channel, I guess, which sounds so pretentious. But this is the first YouTube channel I've had where I've shown my face. I've had other YouTube channels, but they've always been, you know, no face cam kind of thing. It's no. So, as the title says, and as I mentioned, that this is going to be about my bariatric journey. Now, this isn't an upcoming thing. This isn't like, oh, I've started a bariatric journey and it's going to happen. No, it has happened. I have gone through the clinic. I have gone and had my surgery. It's done. I've had weight loss surgery. It has happened. So I am currently post-op, which is interesting. I'm still in like the healing section of the post-op journey, which means that I'm not like, my insides aren't like fully healed, but they are on their way. Typically it's about 9 weeks until you're completely healed up post-surgery, and I'm just about to start week 8 in a couple days, so that's exciting. But I thought I would start this channel and talk about this stuff because weight is such a huge, no pun intended, such a huge part of life. Whether you're too heavy or you're too thin or you have too much muscle or not enough muscle, you know, you work out too much or you don't work out enough, or, you know, you need to diet or you need to stop dieting and all of that. Weight is just one of those things that is always around you because it is you, and I've struggled with it for as long as I can remember, honestly, and I have some stories to tell. I have some good, some bad, some ugly, you know, and I've been told by multiple people that I really ought to share my story, particularly what I have gone through and what I'm currently going through with bariatric surgery. My hair's a mess, sorry about that. So I will tell you, my bariatric journey started in June of 2018. So I think about 19 months ago, but don't quote me on it. That's when I went to the very first class, as it were. It was almost like a university class. You had your binder, you had your pens, there was a bunch of people, you know, there was people at the front just lecturing and chattering on. It was really like an introductory course into this bariatric clinic. I initially had asked my doctor months before that if bariatric surgery was right for me, if I could go and, you know, go to the clinic and see what was happening. And she sent me, and after that it was a long road of tests and classes and therapy and all of this stuff that you have to go through before you're okayed for the surgery. And honestly, you don't typically see that when you watch these, you know, shows that will not be named because I do not want to be sued, but, you know, my whatever life on, you know, very popular channel that follows the super morbidly obese, which is typically people over 600 pounds, through getting weight loss surgery. And you basically see them, you know, how they live. You see them drop maybe 30 or 50 pounds, depending on what the doctor wants, just to like prove that they're willing to do this, which I think that's just for TV, because that did not have that did not happen with anybody in my bariatric clinic. But again, I wasn't in a clinic for the super morbidly obese. I was just in a typical bariatric clinic, which deals with people of 400 pounds is their highest and under. And I think like their cutoff point is like 250 or something like that, which honestly I don't even feel like 250 is like morbidly obese. So yeah, that's you're chunky, but like come on. Anyways. And but also on those shows you don't see any of the work besides like the diet that goes into, sorry, my dog's next to me and she's like staring at me like I'm crazy. I am, but that's besides the point. You don't see any of the work that goes into this. You don't see the classes. You don't see the CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. You go to those classes to learn about, you know, your relationship with food and how it works with you and your relationship to the world and food and just all of that stuff. You have to pass a psych eval test, because if you're not mentally prepared for the toll that the surgery is going to take on you, which it does, and I will get into in another video, because my dog's scratching, I'm sorry if you can hear that. Because it does take a toll. It's very difficult. And again, I don't want to get into that right now, and I want to just kind of focus on, you are making the camera shake, you are scratching so hard. I just want to get into the process of getting the surgery. So you go through the tests, the blood tests and the physical and the psych tests and all of that stuff. And then they tell you, okay, you can absolutely go through with the surgery, and you meet your surgeon and all of this, and it's great. But then you gotta wait, and you gotta wait. And while you're waiting, typically 3 weeks, sometimes 4 depending on if you're heavier, sometimes 2 if you're lighter, but for most people in the clinic that I was in, it was typically 3 weeks. 3 weeks before your surgery date, you start on a type of diet, but like I said, it wasn't like really a diet. It's an it's to shrink your liver, because typically overweight people have rather enlarged livers, and that can get in the way during the surgery. If you have an enlarged liver and it's too heavy and the doctors try and move it, it could rip, it could tear, ripping and tearing the same thing, sorry. It could rip, it could, you know, get punctured, you know, just problems. So what they put you on is, for 3 weeks, you are on a low carb, low sugar, high protein, high, all that good stuff, all the vitamins, and all the low and all the bad stuff, liquid diet, as it were. So for 3 weeks, you drink nothing but these shakes that they give you, they sell you. Now, if you're from the UK, this is called a milk diet, because typically you're just drinking mostly milk products on it. I'm not sure if anyone's ever seen the bariatric show that airs on, I think it's BBC One, I could be wrong, but they tend to do a milk diet there. Here we were on something called Slim Time, which And honestly, it had the taste of unbaked cake batter. You know when you were little and you'd always want to like try the cake batter and your parent would be like, no, no, don't, it's got like raw eggs in it, you'll get salmonella or whatever, but you still did it anyways. And it was like that super, super sweet. It was like, oh my God, we should make pancakes out of this. It was like pancake batter, but like sugary, right? It tasted like that. It was like drinking that. And I didn't I didn't deal well with it. I didn't deal well with it. I didn't vlog, but like I documented a lot of the process of those 3 weeks when I was on the Slim Time on my Instagram. And it was honestly mostly just me bitching about how bad it tasted. And you could do like, you try anything to make it taste better. Anything. You put in coffee, you put in like cacao powder, which is 0 sugar, 0 carbs, all of that stuff. You can like buy like no sugar, no carb, sweeteners and stuff, things that taste like espresso and like caramel and all of that stuff. And it honestly, it doesn't help. You can water it down with bottles and bottles of water until like it's basically just like like cloudy water, and it doesn't help. It was the longest 3 weeks of my life, I thought. As it turns out, the longest 3 weeks of my life happened after the surgery. But as I said, we will get into that in a different video because there is a lot to say about post-operative care. Right now, I'm going to say that I had my surgery on November 12th, 2019. And as of today, it is January 8th, 2020. So I've been home for a while, obviously. I'm healed up, but it was a long healing process, honestly. I have a clip of what my incision sutures look like. They're covered by steri strips, which are like little self-adhesive bandages. They're not quite butterfly sutures, which keep, open wounds closed, but they're similar, okay? I have a clip of it. It's not too graphic, but there is, some bruising. There is, obviously, you can tell there's a little bit of blood underneath the sutures underneath the steri strips because obviously surgery. I am going to show it, but I'm going to give you a warning if you are squeamish about that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, clip. Here's some more of my post-op. These are just steri strips now. That's how they're looking. That one's a little icky looking. That one's really badly bruised, as you can see, really badly bruised. This one is not too bad. Yeah, so also that was my stomach. I'm very sorry you saw that. That was, I think, about, I want to say a week after surgery. And as you can see, all the incisions look very small, and that's because what I had was a keyhole surgery, which is where they cut 5 different holes into your abdomen and use an orthoscopic scope, which is basically like a really long snaky camera, and they put that inside with their tools and then like watch on like a camera screen next to the OR table to see what they're doing. That way they don't have to like cut you open all the way from like stem to stern and like crack open your ribs and stuff like that, because that would be really, really difficult to heal from. Now, I had what is called a Roux gastric bypass surgery, and I will put a diagram of what it looks like here. And that is what is considered the gold standard in your typical weight loss surgery. When most people hear weight loss surgery or gastric bypass, they think of the gastric sleeve bypass, which I will put a diagram of here as well. Now, with the gastric sleeve, they typically do those ones on the super morbidly obese because it is safer. What they do is they essentially turn your stomach into almost like a long tube, and then they take the rest of the stomach out and they throw it away. With the Roux Y, they make a new stomach that's about the size of a cup or half a cup depending on, and they reroute your small intestine and your old stomach connection to your new stomach. So you still get the natural stomach acids coming from your old stomach because they don't remove the large part of your stomach that they made the new stomach out of. They leave it inside you. So essentially I have two stomachs in me right now, but only one of them works. And the good thing about the Roux Y is that it is completely reversible, which means they can reattach your old stomach to your new stomach and give you like a full-size stomach again. How many times can I say stomach in one sentence? Take a drink every time. Only if you're over 18. Don't really, honestly, you'll get hammered. And which is good, especially if you run into any kind of complications, if there's, you know, a problem, if you spring a leak, essentially, or just if you hit the point you're at and you're happy with what you're doing and you think you can continue the life you're living without having to be so constrictive with yourself physically, then they can reverse it. I mean, I was being discharged from the hospital after I had my surgery, and my discharge nurse, no, not one of my discharge nurses, one of my nurses genuinely asked me if I was going to have it reversed once I hit like my goal weight. And I was like, that's a thing? Like, what? People do that? Apparently they do. So that's what my stomach looks like right now. It's a cup, holds a cup of food, and it's very, very strange. And I will get into eating after bariatric surgery. Again, I feel like it'll be another video because it's really long and this is already almost like 20 minutes long. So I'm just gonna get into some straight facts about like me personally. As of June 2019, I weighed a whopping 400 pounds, which unfortunately I can say is not my heaviest. I once weighed nearly 550 pounds. I was barely out of my teens. I was 20 years old to 21, I think, when I decided that, whew, that's enough is enough. I'm over 500 pounds. Something's got to give. And oddly enough, it wasn't bariatric surgery then. It was just diet and exercise, which I did. And I lost over 200 pounds, and I was very proud of myself. It took a couple of years, but and then I was put on some medication for something that was not weight related. And the number one side effect of that medication was weight gain. So even though I was still dieting and exercising, I put on 100 pounds in about 7 months. And I didn't know why. And the doctor I was going to at the time was not a very good doctor. Honestly, I don't even know if he's still licensed. If he is, I hope, you know, that changes soon, because there are worse things he's done than that. But I'm just saying that, you know. But yeah, and when I went to him and I said, you know, I don't understand what's going on, he just sort of flippantly was like, oh, well, it's this and it causes weight gain. And I was in my early 20s. I could not believe it. I felt like I was punched and like slapped and spit on all at once. I couldn't believe it because I was doing so much, and it wasn't like I was just dieting for the hell of it, you know. I was being watched by a doctor, and he just sabotaged me, it felt like. And after that, it was like, why bother? You know, nothing's ever gonna change, blah, blah, blah. You know how you get into your head. I mean, even if you don't suffer from any type of mental illness or you're not obese or anything, everybody gets into their head. Everyone gets the, you know, has those neurotic moments. And, you know, mine just happened to last for years. So I eventually came to the conclusion myself to get bariatric surgery. It wasn't something that was suggested by my doctor. It wasn't something that was suggested by like friends or family or anything like that. I started thinking about getting bariatric surgery. I went to my friends and family and I talked to them. I said, do you think I could do this? And some of them were like, yeah. And other ones were like, you don't know. You're not exactly in the right place right now. But, you know, I thought I'd challenge myself because I wanted it. I really, really wanted it. And I didn't realize how much I wanted it until it was almost here. And I have proof of that. Like, I don't want things in life often. I grew up poor, and then as I got older, we went from poor to below the poverty line, and we are still, my family is still below the poverty line. You know, even if you move out, you live your life, and you still end up below the poverty line because you don't really escape typically the place you came from. People who do are, you know, that very small minority. And so I don't want things in life often. And it seems like whenever I want something really bad, to the point where like I can't breathe, typically disappointment, and I don't get it, or it doesn't happen, and I want this, you know. And I think that's what's really, really causing like the issue and the terror, I guess, and the nerves, is that I want this like so bad. And like I said just a few months ago, I wanted something really bad, and it wasn't like a materialistic thing. It wasn't like, oh, I wanted like, you know, a bike or a computer or a phone or something like that. It was a life-changing kind of opportunity, and I really, really wanted it. And I was told no multiple times, and it kind of broke me for a few months. And I think if this, I didn't want to cry. If this turned out like that, I don't know what I would do. So it was almost here, and I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. I wanted to prove to the ones who weren't sure if I could do it that I could do it. I don't think I'd ever wanted anything so bad in my life, honestly. And at that point, when I went in for surgery, I no longer weighed 400 pounds. I weighed 368 pounds, which was really good because the less you weigh, the less likely there will be problems after surgery or during surgery. But I wasn't too worried about that, you know, problems during surgery. I was very, very healthy. I still am very, very healthy, but you go through rigorous tests before they okay you for surgery. And before I even considered bariatric surgery, I had already gone through a litany of medical tests for something else. And because of that, I had gone through cardiac testing for my heart. I'd gone through testing for my lungs. I'd had my thyroid check, all of that stuff. And I had no health issues, honestly, pertaining to weight, at least I'm not diabetic. I wasn't diabetic. I wasn't even pre-diabetic. I had perfect cholesterol. I had perfect heart. Still have a perfect. I'm using past tense because I was thinking about when it happened, not when the test happened, not like that it suddenly changed and now I'm just like withering away and dying. No, perfect heart, perfect cholesterol, not diabetic. My lungs were great, still are. And I was actually one of the healthiest people in my clinic at the time. So 368 was what is considered my starting weight, I guess, or surgery weight, depending on who you talk to in what bariatric group. And as of now, which is, again, like I said, January 8th, 2020, I weigh 332 pounds, which is a loss of 30, I want to say 34 pounds in total since November, and a total weight loss since June of 68 pounds. Because remember, in June, I was 400 pounds, and I now currently weigh 332. So that is pretty darn amazing. I look forward to sharing more of this journey with you. I look forward to sharing the good and the bad. I have a lot of other videos coming up. Most of them are going to be dealing with bariatric stuff, weight-related stuff, but as I said at the beginning, this is not a weight loss channel per se, because there will be other things. I might vlog at some point, although to be fair, I don't live the most exciting life, so vlogs probably would be pretty darn boring. There might be, I don't know, dumb challenges. I'm sure 2020 will bring us lots of new stupid YouTube challenges to do, which, you know, I will take part in if I can. But until my next video, I don't have a schedule right now, but hopefully it won't take too long for me to get some sort of schedule going. And also hopefully I will take care of the lighting situation, because right now I'm only using the I'm only using the light above me, so I don't have a ring light or anything right now, but I'm hoping that will change soon enough. But if you want to keep up with me in between my videos, you can check out my Twitter and Instagram. I have them linked both down in the description. Give me a follow there if you'd like. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in my upcoming videos or what I may have to say. Leave a comment down below. Let's start a conversation, you know, that kind of thing. Hit that bell icon if you want to stay notified. Again, I don't have a schedule as of right now. This is my very first video, so it would be weird for me to have a schedule, you know. So the bell icon will help you stay notified when I do upload until I have a normal schedule. Hopefully it won't take too long to figure out a schedule. So that's it for now. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day, afternoon, evening, or night, and I will talk to you next time, because I'm Lynn, and this is Life with Lynn. Bye.